When it comes to naming a baby, do you know which name is more popular right now in Great Britain? George or Mohammed? George? Wrong. No, it's Mohammed. You got it. Mohammed actually just overtook George on the list of the most popular names in the UK. With me now to talk about the deepening influence of Islam on life in Britain is Gerard Baker, the U.S. editor of the Times of London. So, Jerry, what does this mean? Just more Muslims in Britain?
That's right. I mean, the number of Muslims is growing dramatically. Muslims tend to have larger families, many more children. Birth rates among the rest of the population are declining. It's even more dramatic in the rest of Europe. Mohammed is actually the single most popular name on birth certificates in Belgium, for example. Across Europe, this is a demographic phenomenon. More and more Muslims are having 5, 6, 7 children. Traditional Caucasian, if you like, Christians tend to be having 1 or in many cases no children at all. So we're on a steady path here towards a rapid increase in the proportion of the population that is Muslim.
Is it fair to say that Britain is becoming a Muslim country?
No, that would be going too far. The official Muslim population is somewhere around 5%. That's still, obviously, there's a long way to go before it becomes a majority. It's bigger again than that in many other countries in Europe, more like 10 or even 15% in some European countries. But Britain is not going to become a Muslim country in the near future. But what is going to happen is that steadily the influence of Islam, the influence of Muslims is going to grow unless there is a reversal in these demographic trends. And I mean, it's not all bad. I suppose it's not as bad as perhaps some people might think. There are, as you said, Mohammed is now a more popular name than George, but still, you know, the top English names are still Jack for boys. I don't know whether there's any evidence that American politics has had any influence on the unpopularity of George, but we'll see. It is striking that George is now less popular in Britain than Mohammed.
Mr. Baker, how is this changing life in Britain?
It's changing life in the sense that there are many more Muslims who are obviously around, who have much more political power than they were. We've got a number. You've just been having this dispute here about whether or not a Muslim member of Congress should be allowed to be sworn in on the Quran. We've got many Muslim members of Parliament in Britain. They're a growing influence. Most of them, to be perfectly fair, are moderate, decent Muslims who want to belong to British society. Unfortunately, there is a group in the leadership of Muslim groups in Britain that actually doesn't accept that and actually opposes membership of British society and actually wants to turn British society into an Islamic society. And that's the problem we have, this growing minority of the Muslim population that is actually, you know, in many ways getting its way and making further inroads and becoming essentially a separatist organization.
Gerard Baker, the U.S. editor for the Times of London. Mr. Baker, it's always good to see you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, John.
Stop financing terrorism. Join Terror Free Energy Coalition. Visit www.terrorfreeoil.org.